Imagine a mystery unsolved for decades, one that involves a renowned music icon, Tupac Shakur. This tale of intrigue and unsolved crime has puzzled fans and investigators alike for over 27 years. The murder of Tupac Shakur, a vibrant force in the music industry, is a mysterious puzzle filled with multiple conspiracy theories. Some believe it was a government assassination, while others point fingers at Marion Knight, the co-founder of Death Row Records. However, one name has consistently emerged from the shadows: Dwayne "Keefe D. Davis. This tale of crime, street life, and music is not just about the death of a music legend, it's about the life and actions of Keefe D and his alleged involvement in Tupac's death. Keefe D, born Dwayne Davis in Compton, was more than just a childhood friend of Knight. He was a member of the Southside Compton Crips, a notorious gang that was often at odds with Death Row Records and its affiliations. Davis has claimed his presence in the car that fateful night of September 7th when Tupac was shot. Las Vegas detective Tim Brennan named Davis and his nephew Orlando Anderson as suspects in an affidavit. Anderson, however, was killed in a gang-related shootout in 1998, leaving Davis as the main suspect. On September 29, 2023, Davis was arrested and charged in connection with Tupac's murder. The mystery surrounding Tupac's murder is a tangled web of conspiracy theories, gang rivalries, and questionable confessions. But the involvement of Keefe D brings a new perspective to this unsolved crime. As we delve into the depths of this mystery, we will explore the life of Keefe D, his alleged involvement in Tupac's murder, and the impact this event had on the world of hip-hop. And so, the stage is set for the unraveling of the mystery of Tupac's murder. Stay tuned as we piece together the puzzle of this infamous crime and attempt to bring closure to a mystery that has lingered for more than 2 decades. The fateful night of September 7, 1996 tells a tale of unexpected violence. It began with the thrill of a Mike Tyson fight. A renowned heavyweight champion, Tyson's matches were always a spectacle that drew in the masses. Among the crowd that night was Tupac Shakur, along with Knight and their Death Row entourage. The MGM Grand Hotel was buzzing with excitement, filled with fans and celebrities alike. In the midst of this, Orlando Anderson, a member of the Southside Compton Crips, was spotted by the Death Row crew. Tupac, unafraid and fiery as ever, was the first to throw a punch. Knight and other Death Row members quickly followed suit. A scuffle ensued, lasting for a tense 15 to 20 seconds, with Anderson on the receiving end of the punches and kicks. After the brawl, Shakur returned to his hotel room only to later head with Knight to his nightclub. It was a typical night in Vegas until it wasn't. At approximately 11:15 p.m., while at a stoplight, a white 4-door Cadillac pulled up to the passenger side of Shakur's car. In a matter of seconds, a flurry of bullets were rapidly fired into the car. Shakur was hit 4 times, once in the arm, once in the thigh, and twice in the chest. The sound of gunshots echoed through the night, shattering the illusion of a typical Vegas evening. Shakur was rushed to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, where he was heavily sedated and placed on life support. The night had taken a turn no one could have predicted. What began as a night of celebration and excitement quickly descended into a nightmare. The attacks, the gunshots, the hospitalization, all elements of a tragedy that would remain unsolved for years. A night that began in celebration ended in a tragedy that would remain unsolved for years. The aftermath of the shooting left everyone in shock, with more questions than answers. Tupac Shakur, the revolutionary icon of hip-hop, lay in the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, fighting for his life. Despite the best efforts of the medical team, Tupac succumbed to his injuries 6 days later on September 13th. The world mourned, and the hip-hop community was left with a void that could never be filled. The police were quick to start their investigation. Orlando Anderson, nephew to Keefe D and a known member of the Southside Compton Crips, was detained for questioning just a month after the shooting. The brawl at the MGM Grand that night had put him in the spotlight. Yet, despite the mounting suspicions, Anderson was released without any charges. It seemed as though the case was at a standstill. 2 years after the murder, in 1998, Anderson was killed in an unrelated gang shooting. His death brought a strange twist to the ongoing investigation. Even though he was no longer alive to face the consequences, the suspicions surrounding his involvement in Tupac's murder lived on. Meanwhile, Keefe D was under the radar for drug-related activities. In 2009, a case was built against him. He was cornered, and in an attempt to avoid prison time, he struck a deal with the investigators. As part of the deal to evade prison time, Davis revealed what he knew about the murder of Tupac Shakur. He was assured that his statements would not be used against him in court. In a recorded conversation with Greg Kading, former LAPD detective, Davis claimed that his nephew Orlando Anderson fired the shots that killed Tupac. But here's where the plot thickens. Kading informed Davis that the proffer agreement, which granted him immunity from prosecution, only protected him when that information was kept private. In October 2011, Kading released a book alleging that Sean "Diddy" Combs had hired Davis to kill Tupac Shakur and Knight for a whopping $1 million. Davis and Kading alleged that Anderson was present in the vehicle that pulled up next to the BMW in which Tupac was shot. The truth, as they say, always comes out, and in this case it took a terminal illness for it to be revealed. Now we delve into the shocking confession that came from Keefe D himself, a confession that would finally provide answers to the long-standing mystery of Tupac Shakur's murder. In the summer of 2018, Keefe D was suffering from cancer. Perhaps seeking to clear his conscience or to leave his mark on history, he decided to make a startling admission on Vlad TV, a popular YouTube channel with a fan base in the millions. Keefe D admitted with a sobering clarity that he was indeed a passenger in the white Cadillac on the night of Tupac's shooting. But he didn't stop there. He went on to confirm one of the most persistent theories surrounding the murder. Orlando Anderson, his nephew, was the one who pulled the trigger, according to Keefe D. He declined to name the other occupants of the car that fateful night, perhaps out of a sense of loyalty or fear, but his claims about Anderson were crystal clear. The motivation behind the shooting, as per Keefe D's account, was a potent mix of retaliation and greed. Earlier that night, Anderson had been jumped at the MGM Grand by Tupac and his entourage. This assault, coupled with a $1 million bounty allegedly put on Tupac's head, drove Anderson to commit the fatal act. These revelations sparked a fresh wave of discussions and debates among hip-hop fans and critics alike. Some found closure in Keefe D's confession, while others questioned its authenticity. But one thing was for sure: the silence surrounding Tupac's murder was finally broken. And so, after 27 long years, the mystery of Tupac's assassination was finally put to rest. A chapter of hip-hop history was closed, not with a bang, but with the whispered confession of a dying man.